Good morning to everyone. Welcome to KNR Tutorials. And today's topic is functions. What is function? Function is a group of statements. Function is a group of statements that together to perform a task. And we can say that a function is a group of statements. Function is a group of statements. Means here it contains a group of statements are the function. And the function can be called as a function is a self-contained block of program and statements that performs a particular task. Thus, it is a self-contained block of program statements. These statements are contained a self-contained program statements, and these statements are perform a particular task. And that is the function. And function is a reusable block of statements. These are gets executed when the function is calling a function. When calling a function, these are the reusable block of statements. We can reuse these statements into the form. And here function can be treated as a subprogram of the main program. For every main program, the functions can be called as a subprograms. Of the main program. And every C program has at least one function, which is main function. Every program must contain the main. Means we can say that into main is the must and should function, or the void main is the function. And this is the main function, and we can use the functions here. And these are the sub programs of the program. And in C programming, it divided the entire concept of programming into the combination of functions. The C programming concepts can be divided into the combination of functions. And the functions terminology. In the functions, we can say that the functions topic is divided into the three types. These are divided into the three types, we can say that these can be divided into the three aspects of the functions. And here these three aspects are called as the first one is function declaration. And before we using the concept of function, we must declare the functions, as well as the second one is define the function. Function definition. We must, whatever the function declaration here, these can be defined in the program. Next one, function call. The function call must to call the defined function. These are the three aspects we use in the function terminology. Let's see what are these and how these can be written in the program. Let's see. Okay, first one. In the function terminology, let's see, the first one is function declaration. In the function declaration, we must specify what is the function you need to use, and you need to specify the function name, and the function must be declared. Where we declare the function declaration, the function declaration will be declared globally. Means we will declare these function declaration before the main function. We will declare the function declaration. And the function declaration says that the C program to tell the compiler about the function compiler, to say the compiler about the function name, what is the function name it contains, and what are the parameters the function contains, what are the parameters the function contains, and the return type of the function. This contains the three terms. Those are function name and the function parameters and the return type. These are the three terms in the function declaration. And here the syntax is return data type, and the function name and the parameters, the parameter list. The parameters may be the different type of parameter, that is integer, character, float, and these are the different type of parameters. The return type is that may be the function contains integer type of return value, float type of return value, or the double type of return value. That will be belongs to our program. And this is a example. The return type is also contained, the parameters also contains the, here also there is a return data type, and it may contain the values or argument 1 and return type and argument 2, so on. We can contain the n number of arguments here. The function may contain the n number of arguments in the parameters list. And this is about the example, that is int add int a comma int b, means the return type is a integer and the function name integer is a return type, and add is a function name, and int a int b, these two are the parameters. Or we can say that arguments. The function contains the two arguments. Here also float is the return type, and the mul is a multiplication, means the function name, and it contains an integer x is a one parameter and the float y is another parameter. Here also it contains two parameters, and this is the way we will write the function declaration. The function declaration is written in the hash include stdio.h. Here we will write the before the main, that is here the int main is a function. Here we write the function declaration, that is int add is a function, that is int a comma int b. Here we will write the function declaration, and this is known as a function declaration. And this is about the function declaration. Next, second one is function definition. And the function definition is a working process of the function declaration. Whatever we declared in the function declaration, which function you declared in the function declaration, and that working process can be defined in the function definition. And it contains the actual statements. Which are to be executed, and whatever the function definition it contains, those are called as actual statements. These actual statements are executed when we call the function. These actual statements can be executed. And the function definition contains the formal parameters. It returns only one value from the function as output. After the completion of statements execution, it returns one value, that is a output of that function definition. And here the formal parameters, it contains the formal parameters. Here the formal parameters, whatever the function make calls and those values are copied into the formal parameters. The values are copied into the formal parameters. And here the syntax of the function definition. Return type same as the function declaration. Return data type, function name, and the argument list or the parameters list. Here it contains the function body. Here the function body is nothing but the executable statements. Contains the executable statements in the function definition. Executable statements. These function body contains the statements. Those are executed when the function calls with the help of the function name, and it returns some value to the function call. It returns some return type of value. Return value, that is it returns some value to the calling function, and this can be called as this is a called function. This can be say that this is a called function. And let's see the example of the function definition. And we have seen the int add function in the function declaration. Let's see the example of that definition of that function. Int add, int is a return type, add is a function name. Int a and int comma a, int comma b are the arguments, two types of arguments. And here I am returning int sum. Int sum is a local variable. Int sum is a local variable. And sum equal to a plus b. Sum equal to a plus b. Whatever the values copied to here, and those will be added as a sum equal to a plus b. And it returns value sum to the function call. Whatever the function is called, and that the return sum is a output that will be returned to the calling function. And this is the function definition. Let's see. Third one is a function call. In the function terminology, third topic is function call. Function can be called from anywhere in the program. The function can be called from the anywhere in the program. The function can call from the main or the main program, or we can call in the within the function. Function call in another function also. Another function also. And this can be done the function call from the function. Function call contains the actual parameters. The function call contains the actual parameters. What are the values you need to be perform the function operation? These are called as actual parameters. Here the parameters list not differ in the function calling and the function declaration. The function the calling function and the function declaration, the calling function and the function declaration must be same with the parameters list. Must be same. If you have the function declaration, if the function declaration has two parameters, the function call should be the two parameters only. Then only it will access the defined function. It will suggest the defined function. And when the program calls a function, the program execution control is transferred to the called function. When the program calls a function, the program execution control will move to the sufficient function definition, and that is the function call process. And let's see the syntax of the function call. And the function name and the actual parameters. The actual parameters may contain the constant values. Constant values are the variables, and this is the function call. Let's see the example of the function call. Int add 20 comma 50, and here I am given the constant values, and here I am given the variables, and this is about the function call. Int add some values and int add some variables, and this is how we make the function call. When the function call is occurs, the program execution or the program control execution will move to the defined function. Then it executes and returns some result to the calling function. And this is how the function declaration, function definition, and the function call will be performed in our functions, in the function process in the program. Okay. Next one is return statement. The return statement is one, how the function is returning the statement, which type of value is returning from the function, and that is represented by the return statements. A function may or may not be return the value from the function. In the function definition, it may or may not. Sometimes it returns some value as an output, or sometimes it may not return some value as an output, and that is a return type. If you don't have to return any value from the function, if we don't want to return any value from the function, then we use the void for the return type, of that function. And let's see the example. Void hello. Void is nothing but it is a null. Void is a null. That's why we don't need to any return type of value from that function, and that is void hello is a function, and we are directly printing some message of that. We are just printing from the function, that is a printf function. We use only printf function for that type of function without the return statements. The next one is, if we want to return some value from the function, we need to use any of the data type as a return type. Those data types are such as integer, long, character, float, double, and any of the data type we can use as a return data type. And the return data type depends on the value to be returned from the function. If the value, or if the return result of the function is in the integer type, then we can represent the return type as an integer. If sometimes we return the result as in the form of float, then we will represent the return type as a float type of return type. And this is about the return statement in the functions. Let's see the example. Int get, here we are returning some value, that is integer value. 10 is an integer value, that's why we represented the return data type as an integer. And here we are also represented integer. Division is a integer, and here int x, int y. We are directly writing the x by y. The result is a local variable that will be returns in the form of integer only. Integer, because here integer, that's why the result will be in the form of integer. And this is about the return statements in the functions.